Hello, initiates. It's Tuesday, so that means that we're going to go over dreaming together. So, I'm going to share a dream with you that I had last night. So last night I had this dream that I lived in New Orleans, except it was like really old New Orleans, and it was almost like my dream was set in sepia, which was kind of strange. Anyways, I was a voodoo priest, and disclaimer, voodoo magic is real. It's one of those magics that only works if you believe in it. It's not all evil and wrong and all that other stuff. There's a lot to it that's really powerful and empowering and amazing, and I'm actually really drawn to voodoo magic because I think it's pretty beautiful. It involves lots of herb craft. That's, okay, end of side note. So, I was this voodoo priest, and I was making voodoo dolls for people, which the dolls can inspire goodness, and these particular ones, though, I was doing them for the wrong reasons, like doing it to harm others and things like that, because it was a dream when I wouldn't really do that. And there was this woman who helped me make them. She was really young. If I had to give her an age, I'd say she was 16 or 17, and she like followed me everywhere in the shop and was like grabbing things for me. It was kind of like an assistant. So, yeah, she was doing all that. I don't really understand her importance, except that she was singing this jazz song that Ben and I listened to the day before yesterday in the car. It was a really good song. I loved it. And anyways, she was humming this jazz song, and I was like dancing with her while we were making the voodoo dolls. And it was like incredibly dirty in my shop. Like there was dust and grime, and it was just really grungy everywhere, and it just, like, for some reason didn't bother me, which is completely uncharacteristic. Then anytime people came to buy a voodoo doll, like they came to pick up their purchase, like I would take them into a back room and have sex with them so that they could have the doll. Like it was part of the ritual. Like I was using that energy from the sexual encounter to kind of like, I don't know, finalize or seal this spell on the voodoo dolls, which was really weird. So all of that aside, those were all of the like the key points of my dream. So I guess I'll just go through each of them really quick. So, making the voodoo doll for other people. Most of the time, from my understanding of voodoo craft, is that if you make the voodoo doll, the doll only works for you. It doesn't work for other people. You have to be the one creating it and using it for its purpose. And when you cast the spell on it, it's supposed to only work for you. Or at least that's my understanding of it. And again, voodoo magic is like all magic. It only works if you believe in it. And from my studies of the craft, it's very, it's like all forms of anything, really. There's a good side to the coin, and there's a bad side to the coin. The one that's brought up the most, though, is the negative effects of it. Like, for example, I can make a voodoo doll for someone. I could put a dollar bill in it and say that I'm hoping that this person, more wealth is attracted to them. And if I put a bay leaf in them, they'll have better dreams and they'll sleep better, and they'll have a natural protection against nightmares. If I put lavender in the voodoo doll, then I'm hoping that love is attracted to them. Now on the flip side, if I were putting negative herbs, so maybe I wanted to put in maybe I wanted to put some valerian, which is a sleeping aid. Maybe I wanted to put that in where their head would be, where their thoughts are cloudy and they're drowsy all the time. Or maybe I wanted to put a poisonous plant in them so that that poisonous plant will draw negativity towards them. Or you could do the actual act of like stabbing them and hoping that something, a ferocious obstacle will come into their path and they can't avoid it. So there is plus sides and negative things to all forms of magic. I just wanted to reiterate that. So then next was the whole selling myself for sex, which I don't know where that would come from as far as my dreams. Maybe it's telling me that I feel like in some way or another my sex life has become something dirty or something like that isn't what it used to be. Ugh. Excuse me. Sorry about that sneeze. Anyways, maybe my sex life is evolving, or there's something I'm missing, and I'm now perceiving it as something like as like work or a chore. Um, and then there's the jazz music. Jazz music for me is a very spiritual music. I like to listen to jazz on days that I'm going to do lots of heavy spells, or in preparation for a Sabbath, I like to listen to some jazz. So I think that from that it was kind of like my subconscious was telling me that I want to do magic. Now the dirty and grungy thing. This is where I'm going to let my like more astrological side come out. Virgos are very neat, and me being a Virgo, obviously. You know, I'm very neat and orderly. Everything has its place. I don't like it when there's dirt on the floor. I like to sweep all the time, and I'm like obsessive about sweeping. I sweep like twice a day, every day. So I don't know what that was, and so maybe you guys might know something that maybe you're saying something I'm not. And then the woman following me everywhere as an assistant is usually a catering, like since it was a gender of a woman, I'm assuming that it has to do with one of my sisters in the craft, as in like they're going to be there for some kind of magic that I want to perform. Like if it was a boy, then it probably would have been one of my brothers of magic or something like that. Anyways, those are what I thought came about my dream. Leave your comments below about different thoughts or feelings that you have about my dream, or even share some about your dream, and we can talk about it in the next episode. I like this whole like one episode I do my dream, and then the next episode I talk about others' dreams, so I'm going to probably keep that up. So, merry meet, merry part, may we merry meet again.